students, we were talking about the types of relation, right? How the subjects, one subject is connected to the another subject. And we have to, while teaching our own subject, no, we have to tell them what are the similarities, how one subject is dependent upon the other subject, especially how mathematics, because we are mathematics teacher, right? How mathematics depend upon what is the relationship between the mathematics and other subject. What are the similarities between the mathematics and other subject? How other subjects are dependent upon mathematics. These are the things you should keep in mind while teaching, right? The first is types of relation. The first relation we can think about is the internal, or it is a vertical relation. Okay, so this type of relation is between different branches. Okay, so I can talk about the different branches of mathematics, right? That is algebra. Vertical is something like this, right? Right? What are the different branches? Then we can talk about geometry. Then we can talk about arithmetic. Okay. Then we can talk about the profit and loss, all this, no, business mathematics. Like calculating the simple interest, compound interest, all this will come under this, right? So these are different branches of, what are these? These are different branches of mathematics. Okay, how these branches are related to each other? What is the relationship between these branches? Right? In fact, they all come under the umbrella of mathematics, right? They are not different. So they all come under the umbrella of mathematics, right? And how these subjects are related to each other, right? That is, branches of a subject many times are taught by different teachers. Like normally, if you see topologies, some teacher will be teaching, real analysis, some teacher will be, complex analysis, some teacher will be teaching. So normally it happens like that only, such that each branch is treated as different entity, but it should not be done like this. But there is a unification of knowledge of all this. And when, suppose I am going to teach about, say, a plus b the whole square, right? What it is? It is algebra, right? I can take the help of geometry, right? I can draw the figure, okay? Figure and find the proof. So I am relating it to the geometry, right? Somewhere I am relating it to geometry. Like this it is. Geometrical figure and explain. Internal relation is necessary for continuity of knowledge. Knowledge is continuous, it is not a discrete, and understanding the subject as a whole. So that is the relevance of branches. One branch is related to another branch. How it is related, the beautiful fund of knowledge is there, right? How they are related to each other. And then it's not a whole watertight compartment. You should teach as a whole, holistic view of the subject has to be understood by the teacher first of all, and of course teacher should transact to the students. Right now we talk about the external relation, right? The second relation is nothing but external or horizontal relation. What is the external horizontal relation? Here horizontal means like this, right? I can talk about the subject one, okay? Subject 2. How subject 1 is related to subject 2. This type of relationship is known as the horizontal relationship, right? External, they are not inside. Here I have drawn the yellow color line. No, here there is no yellow color line here, right? They are external. So this type of relation is between different school subjects. I can call it as science, history, geography, economics. Okay, different subjects we can talk here. It is about the science, of course, our beautiful mathematics. We will not draw mathematics because how they are going to relate with mathematics only we are going to talk about. So this circle will not come. We'll talk about history, how history is related to mathematics, and any other subjects you can think about, even language. Yeah, of course we can talk about language. Okay, these are the different subjects at school level. Economics, or there's so many things I can write, economics and all, right? So how these different subjects, how they are related to each other, that is how they are related to mathematics as a whole. Right? I will not draw a yellow line, it is already used. How all these subjects, so many subjects are there, right? I'm not going to write. How they are related to our mathematics. Our hero here is mathematics, right? Okay, fine. So this is unification of knowledge, history, geography, economics, so many things we can write here and give school subjects, right? Different school subjects are taught by different teachers, such that each subject is treated as a different entity. If different teachers are teaching, no, we normally think they are all different, right? They are different entity, but it is not true. But this should not happen. There should be unification of knowledge. What you are talking about, the important thing is unification of knowledge. Okay, all knowledge, whatever it may be science, it may be history, it may be language, it may be economics, it may be civics, or it may be some other subjects, say geography, and all these are unified. All these are here. All these are unified. Some way or the other, they are becoming one and the same, unified. Here we can talk about different gods, no? Different religion, okay? Religion 1, like these circles, small circles represent religion 1, religion 2, religion 3. But all these are unified, they are one and the same. If you go to the top level, then you can understand that all these are one and the same. They talk about how human beings should live in this life, how we should treat others. All religions ultimately talk about this only. We should be good, ideal, how ideal it should be. That is what the ultimate aim of all the religion. Right, same way, all the subjects ultimately it is unified somewhere or other. But it should happen that teachers should have this sort of knowledge, right? But it should not be done so as it is lose its charm, because if you teach them separately, you know, the charm is lost. So our mind perceives how the mind, our unification of knowledge, this is ultimately teachers should able to make their students understand that all knowledge are unified. So their mind perceives everything our mind perceives. Ultimately our mind who is a receiver. So our mind perceives. So teacher need to relate it as much as possible. Teacher was solving sums based on speed and distance. You can say, suppose in mathematics, if we talk about speed and distance, you can say it is coming in physics also, right? If you talk about, say, statics, dynamics, you may feel sometimes it is not mathematics teaching only physics in mathematics class. No, somewhere or other physics is highly related to mathematics, right? So that even in higher, if you go to the MSc also, you'll be studying about the fluid dynamics, and you'll be studying about the theory of relativity by Einstein, that is tensor analysis. These are all nothing but basically they are physics only. So you can there is some knowledge which is unified somewhere or other, right? So physics, if she is teaching, no, is history of great mathematicians. We can talk about the history of, if you in mathematics, you can talk about the history of great mathematicians. We can write different years, who is born, what is their contribution to the society. For example, Euclid, Ramanujan. So you can relate it to our history subject, right? How mathematics are related to history. Like this, some sort of relation can be done. If you talk about the rainfall, then you can connect it with the geography, right? Somewhere or there it is, right? And then the third thing we can talk about is relation with daily life. How mathematics is related to our daily life. You can see so many examples in this. Means it is related everywhere. Where to quote, my dear? It is everywhere. It is in daily life. A mathematics teacher, while teaching simple and compound interest, for example, if you are going to teach about simple and compound interest to your students, and you can give the real example how simple interest is useful to you in the daily life, how in the bank, how it is calculated in, okay, when you deposit, two types of deposit is the recurrent deposit, and you deposit for some period of time, say 3 years, your money is kept, then how the interest is calculated, there are different way of calculation, right? So this transaction and how it is useful in the bank, everything you can relate, right? Relation of the subject with the daily life is utmost importance. That is very much important, right? And then relation with daily life makes the subject relevant, and then students will feel that yes, this is what relevant I'm learning. It is not something irrelevant. It is useful in the practical application also. So this type of relation is between the subject taught in school and with the daily life activities. That is the measurement of carpet area. For example, you are having the house, you want to fix the tiles. So you want to buy the tiles, no number of tiles, how many tiles you can buy. You can give the post the real life situation. You can draw like nowadays you can draw it using the computer also. Using that computer drawing, no, that is a simulated house drawing. You can just ask them how many tiles are needed, right? And you just ask, you tell them that if you buy more tiles and you will be in loss, right? I can actually give the money, and some sort of drama also can be done for the child. Then they become, mathematics becomes quite interesting, and they will happily understand the subject, right? So values of teaching mathematics. The only thing, when you talk about the relation with the daily life, of course we should talk about the values, right? What are the values? Values in teaching of mathematics. What are the values? Right? That is utilitarian aim, disciplinary aim, utilitarian value, disciplinary value, intellectual value, cultural value, moral value, aesthetic value, social value, and of course international value. So there are different values of teaching mathematics. What are they? What are they? Utilitarian. So utilitarian value. Next is disciplinary value. Okay. Then we can talk about intellectual value. Then we talk about cultural value. Then moral value. Then you can talk about aesthetic value. Okay. Then we talk about social value. Then it is all about the international value. You can keep adding, right? We'll stop here only. So many values we can add, keep on adding, right? Then design mathematics curriculum. The next topic goes like this. How to design a mathematics curriculum. Okay, how to design a mathematics curriculum, right? We will see in the next class.